I believe that it is high time that we get some good audio equipment back into this Evo and fill in that void right about there. As always, we're using Alpine, so let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. Now, I've already gone through and installed a lot of the components in this setup here. We got everything in the trunk all good to go. We've already installed the door panels and got the door speakers in and all that kind of stuff. And all of those components and things are Alpine as well. And if you've been following along, you may already know this, but the Alpine amps are not in the trunk. We're changing up the setup a little bit there. I'll explain more of that in a little bit, but if you haven't been following along, that's where we're at. But with all that stuff already installed, it is now time to move on to the head unit, the brains of the whole thing, you could say. This is the piece you always look at, you're always touching. It's right there in the middle of the dash. It's kind of the centerpiece of the interior in some ways. Now, I want to start by saying this is not a sponsored video. I have zero affiliation with Alpine, but I mean, if the opportunity ever arose, wouldn't necessarily say no. I've been using Alpine for years on all my builds. This one's no different. It had Alpine before, it'll have Alpine now. Everything in the car is Alpine. I don't think I said it before, but the speakers in the back and the doors and all that are Type S speakers. We did have 2 amps going in the trunk, but we're changing that setup a little bit. I think I touched on that, but let me explain. Like I said, there's no amps back here. I had a 4-channel amp and a mono amp I was going to run for a subwoofer back here. But I just could not find a good solution to mount a sub in here. There is a company that makes a fiberglass speaker box that mounts on the sides here. You can pick which side you want it on, but with the shipping, it's like almost 600 bucks. And you can call it what you will, but I'm not spending 600 bucks on a speaker box that houses 1 subwoofer. So for now, I'm going to hold off on the subwoofer part. I ordered so many things and returned so many things to try to get it to work right here and just could not get it figured out. So I decided I would just hold off. I can't keep putting off these videos, ordering and returning things. So we'll hold off on that and we'll just complete what we have here and make it running and sounding nice. And then we can add to it later. Yeah, I digress. This is the head unit we're putting in the car, the Alpine ILX 507. Back in the day, I had a single DIN where the screen folded out of the Alpine. That one was super cool, but I am really excited to have a double DIN in the car because I think it looks a lot cleaner, and it'll be super nice to have a screen in there to make things look a little bit more modern, etc. I have already made the adapter harness to just plug this thing right in. I won't show you guys that because we had to do some special wiring to that, so we'll get this thing opened up and start mounting it in. Now, we'll get this thing taken out of here. This is all stuff I don't think I'm gonna need. Get out the little bubbles and ta-da! Oh yeah, there we are. Now, let's just real quickly, I do think I need a harness out of here because it's not, this is the one we need right here. Subwoofer, components, boom, and let's just dump all this shit out. I'm not going to be using this because this goes to camera inputs, mic, no, not doing any kind of steering remotes, microphones, nothing like that. So this can all go back in the box. This little guy right here should plug in there. You can't really plug it into the wrong place, so we'll plug that in right there. The subwoofer thing can stay unplugged for a little while, and this is the rear outputs and the front outputs. I'll have to monitor that from my RCA cables when we install the amp and everything, but we'll go ahead and plug those in now, and I'll just have to write down which ones go to which. And we'll run our USB plugs through the dash and into the glove box for easy access. While we're in the interior anyway, I went inside and got my OEM brand new Evolution 9 floor mats. Got these a couple years ago while they still had them available, and boy am I glad I did, but yeah, that looks sweet. If only someone would make a brand new like carpet to go in there that's molded and all that, that would be lovely. But anyways, we're gonna pull our RCAs through. These are the 4 for the 4-channel. These are the subwoofer ones. Luckily, they're all different colors. Front speakers, white on white, black on red, and then rear speakers, gray on white, and red on red. Now, I need to take a picture of that. Boom. Let's run this into here. Yeah, just like that. Oh, okay. Plug you in right about there. And well, that's not right. This is gonna be unfortunate. Well, this is not something I thought of. I need to mount, because these are the single DIN mounts, so they mount it up high, and so obviously the the screen is up above the trim panel. So I need one to mount it down here or something of that nature. I'm gonna have to go in and see if something came with the double din kit that I ordered a long time ago, but that is something I did not plan for.
Idiot!
All right, well, we went ahead and wired up that remote wire. We did some more wiring back here in the fuse box area, getting some of that stuff wrapped up. And yeah, I guess we'll wait till tomorrow when the thing comes in and we can mount the screen in there, which I don't know how I forgot that, but I think I thought I had one somewhere, but I do not. So yeah, tomorrow. Okay, we got the piece. Let's mount this thing to the screen and see if we can get it in the car. Sometimes I get asked why I run Alpine stuff, and it really comes down to a couple things that's pretty simple. One is I've never had issues at all with Alpine stuff that wasn't my own doing. Never had a problem at all with that. And then two, it makes my OCD happy to have one brand in the whole car for everything. Head units, speakers, subs, amps, all that stuff is one brand. It's cohesive throughout the whole car, and that makes me happy on the inside. I used to run Kicker stuff a long time ago, but they never had a head unit. So when I switched to Alpine, I never went back. And so I've always wanted to try JL stuff. I know they have good speakers, good amps from what I hear, but no head unit that I'm aware of. So yeah, I switched to Alpine a long time ago and never went back and have been satisfied ever since. So that is why I run Alpine. And there we have it. Boom. Where's my, there they are. So now we take these little guys, mount them right here. Doink. Hopefully this thing lines up. Nay, it does not. Please hold. Okay, I think I got this thing figured out. Had to put it down here, and it's just gonna have to be held in how I can get it to hold in. This being a single din screen, it makes it a little bit difficult because I think these brackets and everything are made for a double din sized screen. I did take a bracket out of the dash. I'll show you in a little bit, but I had to take that bracket out, and it's allowing me to move things a little bit easier in here. I think we should be good to go here. So I'm gonna tuck this back in here. Tuck and hope. In that went. Super simple. It does, you can see it sitting down way, way lower than it was, so that's a plus. Boom. Finally, got it in there. Nice and centered up. Looks super nice. I'm not putting that trim piece on there that goes around it because it looks fine without it, for one, and two, it doesn't really fit with the way this plastic piece is made. So we'll leave it off of there, but dang, it looks super nice. The only thing is I can't really turn it on and see if it works right now because I've got all this wiring down here that goes to our fuse box under the dash there, and I depinned one of the ignition wires and all that to try to fix the gauges and everything, how they go. So I'm gonna have to wait to see if this thing works and all that, but let's finish putting in some more interior, and then I'm gonna try to work on some of that wiring as well. Here is that little bracket piece that I took out of the center of the dash. It was kind of hard to explain, but you'll see it when it's under there. There's just a little support piece in there, and this little nubbin right here was hitting some things or causing some wires to bind, etc. But taking that out of there, it went in much, much smoother. Oh yeah, console back in the car. We wrapped that top piece a while back, and then we got carbon and carbon titanium, the new Brad shift boot we did. Oh yeah, you can really see the metallic popping off the light here, even though it is pretty crappy in here. But yeah, pumped. Okay, now that the interior is all in the car, everything is good to go, except I have a lot of wiring to do, and that is just going to be boring for you guys to watch and film and all that kind of stuff. I want to fix these gauges. I've been talking about it for a while now, but I want to get under the dash, figure out all that wiring, clean it up as best I can, and get it going. So I'm going to go ahead and end it off here, and I'm going to dive into this, tackle this wiring. That way we can get this thing running and started. We can test the screen, fix the coolant leak, get it down on the ground again, and drivable. And so yeah, I do apologize if this video is all over the place yet again, but thanks for watching. I do appreciate it very much as always. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what audio brand you guys use if you guys have a specific brand that you guys like. I find that stuff rather interesting. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.